Yes, people. Welcome back to another live stream on the channel. Hope everyone is doing well. We're back live. We've got some topics that we are going to go through in the Liverpool space. And we're going to talk about Arne Slot. We're going to talk about some players at the club. Is Arne Slot turning it around? Is Alexander Isak struggling? And ultimately, Ekitike better than Alexander Isak right now. Who would have thought this back in the summer? No one really would have predicted this. So we're going to talk about all of those in today's live stream. Bless up to everybody in the chat. Big up PL Champs. Big up Benjamin. Oh, God, Mello's there flipping. Oh, here we go. And big up Catalan in the building. Already a couple of you in the building. Bless up to everybody. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Make sure you're subscribing because we're literally, I think we hit 2.5K yesterday. And then I think we dipped by 1. So yeah. Make sure you hit the like, make sure you're subscribing, man. Bless up to everybody. I was meant to stream at 1 o'clock UK. I can't lie, chat. I was at my desk, I was watching some YouTube, having some lunch. Next minute I fall asleep in my seat. And I'm like, I wake up like 40 minutes ago. I'm like, I fell asleep in this chair for like an hour and 20 minutes. I don't even know how. But I did. But no, let's get on to the topics then. So, Arne Slot now has Liverpool unbeaten in their last 5 matches across all competitions. Is the tide turning for Arne Slot, do you think? I've sat and thought about this long and hard. Pause. About my opinions on Arne Slot. And people know. People know what my opinions are of him. Do I want him at the club? Nope. Do I want to change a manager? Yes, I do. However, that's looking like that's definitely not going to happen remotely anytime soon. I just can't see this happening anytime soon, to be honest with you. And I think if Slot was going to get sacked, he would have been sacked by now. And the fact that he's gone on a bit of a run, 5 games unbeaten, everything that's happened with Mohamed Salah over the past couple of days, I just can't see a world where he gets sacked anytime soon. If I'm being truly honest, I just can't see a world where he gets sacked anytime soon. I'd be incredibly shocked if he is to be sacked. It would have to be a drastic change because I feel like what Mohamed Salah did last week with the whole interview, etc., I think changed the landscape of Arne Slot, and I think it made a lot more people at the football club get behind him a lot more, as opposed if Salah didn't do, all that interview stuff. Was otherwise, I think Slot potentially would have been sacked if he had lost, let's say, the West Ham game, and then obviously drop points furthermore in Sunderland. But I just don't see where we get sacked now, chat. I mean, I'm looking at our fixtures and they're winnable games. So if you just win the next 3 games, which are Tottenham, Wolves, and Leeds, then I think the club will definitely most likely persist with him. I think we're going to persist with him until the end of the season. I've said this. I think personally, I think the club will just look at it and think, you know what? Let's just ride it out to the end of the season because it looks like that we can go on. He can go on like these 4 or 5 games where he can go unbeaten still as manager. So I just think they're going to persist with him. Slot will get the season. At least we're halfway through now. Facts. Unless he loses to Tottenham, Wolves. If he loses the next 4 games and one of them is Wolves and Leeds, and obviously the FA Cup, then maybe they might just think, you know what, let's just sack someone and get him in. But the fact that now, if you look at the Premier League table, chat, yeah, he's in the mix zone for top 5 now. We're joint 5th We're only 2 points behind. And, you know, Chelsea very needy lately. Obviously, Aston Villa is a massive worry. They're gone with 5 straight wins. They're only 2 points behind. Obviously, Manchester City and Arsenal are a fair bit ahead. So I just can't see a world where it's going to happen. I think the only way Liverpool sack the manager, potentially, if you get knocked out in the cup, lose the next 4 games, lose to Marseille, then means top 8 is going to be looking difficult. Within that time frame, top 4 could be looking peak. But it's not. It's looking, you know, 5th will probably get the correlation spot. So right now, it's going to be a shootout between us and Palace. And everyone at the club will obviously rather fancy us to do that. Obviously, the correlation spot will have to be given, of course. But as of right now, I just can't see a world where it's going to happen. If you look on the form table, last 5 games, we're based off 11th. Aston Villa top, by the way. Yeah, they're moving. Yo, could you imagine if Aston Villa pulled off a Leicester? It would be mad, I can't lie. I don't think it's ever going to happen. I don't think you'll ever see a Leicester moment ever again. But yeah, like Trudon says, I just can't see a world where they do it. Big up to Andiko in the building. If you can't beat Wolves, that is an instant sack. It should be an instant sack if you lose to Wolves. Yes. But at the same breath, I just don't see a world where that happens, mate. Yeah. Even when we was in our worst form, you know, I think what was it, 3 wins in 15 or some, I can't remember, or something like that, right? Before these last 5 games, there wasn't even any talk of sacking him. Like Fabrizio, all the top journalists were all coming out and peddling out that Slot's the man. So surely something would have been linked, as opposed to, you know, we want to sack the manager, and there's nothing that's, you know, remotely come out about it. So I'll be honest, I can't see anything changing anytime soon. I'd love to be proven wrong. I'd love to, you know, for the manager to be changed, but I don't see it. I just can't see it, if I'm honest. And, you know, the club might think also, what reliable options is there? Steven Gerrard as an interim. That's been the talk. Alonso, I don't think that would happen till the summer. I think we may do what Man United did a couple of years ago. Do you know when Ten Hag won the FA Cup and then Ineos sacked him at the end of the season? That might be something like that. It might be something like that. Unless, say, if Alonso comes available. You know, Luis Enrique has a year left. If that's a deal that's possible to do, I think the club cut ties and I think they sack him. That's what I personally think. The club might just think, look, let's just ride it out. It's been obviously we've heard the stuff about, you know, transition and stuff like that. I don't buy into any of that nonsense. This nonsense of it's a transitioning season. No one thought that at the start of the window. Yeah, we might take a couple of players that need bedding in fully to see the full light of the players, but let's be realistic. Everybody, when everyone signed all the players in the summer, we was all basically celebrating number 21. Real talk, and I won't be lied to you, I was one of them. The manager is Paul. Desire, who do you replace him with? Alonso. I think that's who the club will probably want to look at. If I'm being honest, I think that's who they're going to look at, if I'm honest. Morgan and Rogers, best attacking mid in the league. Facts. Remember, we wanted him in the summer. We're winning the Premier League and Europa League double. Wait, winning the Premier League and Europa League double. How's the Europa League possible? We're in the champs. I missed. Oh, bro, don't. Big up Clive. Yeah, exactly. Barca brought Kaka, Benzema, Alonso, CR7 in the same window, and Barca still won the league. Yeah, signings don't mean nothing. Obviously, signings obviously naturally help, but if we're being real about this chat, I mean, look, it is a concern because you have to question the mentality, you have to question the mindset of the club. you have to question all those sort of things, because it's like, do you want Liverpool to do well? Do you want Liverpool to succeed? I think if he hadn't won the league, he would have been sacked. I think he genuinely been, yeah, mate, you're gone. See you later. Yeah, but let me know what you mean by that, Trudon, mate. Bless up to you, though. But if we look at our next fixtures, and I think the club will also look at this as well, and they'll think these are winnable games. Take away Arsenal, right, off this page. So you look at Liverpool's next 7 games. The club will look at it and think, we can win 6 out of 7. Tottenham are in disarray. Like, they are so bad. Yeah? Tottenham are shocking. Wolves. If we can't beat Wolves, end the season, we might as well all go home and rip up all our tickets, rip up our memberships and all that, and just be like, yeah, we'll go again in August. The club will look at it and think, we can win 2 out of 2. Leeds, I feel like we can beat Leeds. We just need to stay more composed, and obviously players just not bottle it. And because, we was good for that first 60 minutes. We were decent. Fulham are a mixed bag. I can't lie. Like, where are Fulham in the league table? Where are Fulham? They're 13th. Like, they've won 6 out of 16 games, 8 losses. And if we look at their home form, Pacific, 13th. Again, they've won 50% of their home games. Liverpool should be beating Fulham. Let's not kid ourselves here. Like, this is Fulham FC, for Christ's sakes. Arsenal, obviously, it would be a difficult test. As much as Arsenal are in a bit of I won't say a bad patch, but we'll probably will lose that game. Barnsley, God, if we lost to Barnsley, oof. Yeah, that'd be. There might not have to be a match reaction to that. And then obviously Burnley, the club will think of it. Look, take away the Arsenal games. You got what, 3 games here? 4. You got 6 games. 4 of them at home. 4 of them are at home. So the club will definitely, take all this into consideration. 4 of them are at home out of that running. So Liverpool should be beating Wolves, should be beating Leeds. We'll beat Barnsley, beat Burnley, yeah? You into the next round of the Cup, you've got an extra, 9 points there. And also, if we can bag ourselves another win with maybe a draw. So let's say, I don't know, take away Arsenal, win. And then one of the Fulham or Tottenham, let's say we can bag a win and a draw there. I think the club will look at that as a very success all the way from West Ham. One loss in that'd be like 1 loss in 12 or 13 games. The club will look at that as a success and good. Do you know what I mean? The club will look at that and think, yeah, we'll have that. Big up and Dicko, lads. Hope you're well, my friend. Villa are in, oh, for God's sakes. Oh my God. Villa in the Europa League. My God, gas in the Europa League, Liverpool won't win anything this season. Top 4 still a stretch. A couple of victories changes nothing. I agree with you in the sense of the opinions on the manager and the whole topic around that. I think we can win a trophy. In a knockout game. So let's say the FA Cup. Yeah, the FA Cups are just a shootout each game. We do have players that can score goals. Ekitike, if Isak can get his arse into gear, which we'll talk about. You also look at the facts of Florian Wirtz, Mohamed Salah. We've got game changers in this team. Liverpool scoring goals isn't a problem. It's about what they let in and how they actually play the football match. Do you get it? So, in an FA Cup, I fancy my chances for Liverpool to try and win a shootout. if I'm honest. Big up the men's, hope you're well. If Slot, oh god, 1 second, I have got a guest coming onto the channel, and I think he was just backstage, and I didn't realize. Whoops. Yeah. Back. Oh my god. Big up, bro.
Big up, man. Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
How you doing? You alright?
Yeah, I'm doing good, boy. We're just talking about on a slot.
Honestly, yeah. You know what? What I will say is we have ever since the Salah thing, we have kind of picked up performance wise, but I'm still not convinced personally.
What would take you to be convinced?
You know what? I think we need to win like 6, 7 games in a row. Personally, like we won 2 last time, didn't we? Villa and Madrid. Then we went and lost to City, and it went downhill again. So for me, I need to see like 6, 7 wins and good performances as well. Then maybe I'll change my tune, but it's still very much flat out for me. How about yourself?
I'm slot out. For me to make onslaught a conversation, you have to either go and win me these next 7 games, qualify for the Champions League, and compete for a trophy.
Agreed.
You know, if Liverpool, let's say Liverpool come 5th this season, are you still sacking him?
We have to surely because that will mean we don't get top 4. And considering the money we've spent as well, the players we bought in, to finish in the Europa League would just be a joke.
What's if he won us an FA Cup?
It's a trophy, isn't it? And a trophy is a trophy. But again, for the money we spent, we expected the Prem over Champions League. So I'd still
No,
get rid of him. I'd still get rid of him. I think unless he pulls a rabbit out of the hat and wins the Champions League, I think the writing's on the wall.
for Arne Slot to stay for me, go and win me at least an FA Cup, get me top 4, and go, let's say, semi-finals of the Champions League. To even remotely think. But that I want him sacked if, let's say, Luis Enrique becomes available, Alonso,
100%.
any manager comes available, you're gone.
Yeah, 100%.
Even if you win the Champions League.
Yeah. Have you got a replacement lined up in your mind personally, or you still deciding who you want?
Me personally, I've been thinking about Alonso, and I don't know if I want him straight after a sack into Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Because I think he might want a bit. This is the biggest hurdle in his managerial career.
Yeah.
So he might want a bit of time just to rebuild a little bit again, because he's a very young manager.
100%.
And will he want to take on Liverpool straight away after being sacked in Madrid?
Yeah, actually.
That's what I mean. So, me personally, Luis Enrique is the hot dream.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I don't see why we can't get him either, to be fair, because respectfully, we're a much bigger club than Paris Saint-Germain are. So, if we came calling, I'd imagine he'd want to walk straight away.
No, 100, man. Because he's got a year left on his contract.
Mm.
Because he's got a year left on his contract. Surely we can persuade him, because he's done everything in the game. Won multiple Champions Leagues, dominated in places where he's been. Come and try out the Premiership and see if you can do it there.
100% agreed, man. You know what I will say about Alonso? That's a bit of a red flag, though. Slotter's beaten him twice, to be fair, last season and this season. So it's a bit of an alarm bell. It's a bit of an alarm bell ringing in my head that he's got such a talented team and he can't get the best out of them at Madrid. So
I mean, someone says, why would Alonso downgrade? I mean, he's going to get sacked, so that's why. That's literally why he would downgrade. When you say downgrade, I think he loves Liverpool more, mate. Big up, lads. Slap the likes.
Big up, Zia, man.
Big up, Zia, brother. Big up, my G. Guys, make sure you subscribe to Zia Talks FCB. one of the tin pottest clubs in the world, but we support our brothers. Um, you literally can't win at Madrid even if you win the league.
100%, man. Standards, in it. They want you gone straight away. Because it's win or get lost at the Madrid. So
No, I hear you. I hear you, man. I think for me, I just want to bring in a manager that has a good style of play, tactical awareness, actually embeds his love with the fans.
exactly,
I
yeah,
think that's I think that's a massive factor, and that's where a lot of people gave up on Slot because he wasn't showing that.
exactly,
You know,
100%.
which I get it, it's not his personality. His personality is just to focus on winning. But you also have to think about your personality when you're not winning. These are things I think is very important to take into consideration. And I think ultimately, do you know what, bro? I can see a world where Arne Slot doesn't get sacked.
Yeah, I can see that too. I think I think he'll last the season personally.
Do you think we might do a Man United and just sack him after the season?
I think it depends what we won and where we are in the league personally. If we're fifth and we won nothing, yeah, get rid. But if we're fifth and we've won a Champions League maybe or an FA Cup, I the thing is I don't know how ambitious our owners are. I can't tell because for years they haven't spent money. This summer they've spent money, so it kind of shows ambition. But I don't know.
Yeah.
FSG might keep him around still.
Do you know what? I genuinely see a world where he wins an FA Cup, gets fifth or fourth, and gets to stay. The club will see it as in he's won a trophy in both seasons. One was a big major in the Premiership, one was an FA Cup. So he's kept the trophy still coming in. That's what I could potentially see.
Potentially,
I
yeah.
really, really, really can. Because I think that's why we're going to spend in January. Because why are we going to bribe Gahey, Semenyo, and everybody if they're just going to sack the manager?
Exactly, 100%.
They're going to give him if people think he's getting time now, he's definitely getting more time after these signings.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I
100%.
mean?
I wouldn't give him no more money personally when you look at what he's done this season with the players he's got and the money he's bought them for. The fact that you can't get a tune out of him. I think giving him more money would be disastrous, I can't lie.
No, I mean, look, we need to definitely do something, man. I mean,
100%.
do you think the manager will get a lot of money to spend?
I think he'll get a centre back because it's obvious we need a centre back, so he should get one of those in January. There's talks on Semenyo as well, so we might bring him in, but I'm seeing City want him as well now, so might be a
I
bit of a
think we get Semenyo, and I think Liverpool have already got 2 deals lined up.
yeah.
I think they
So
get Semenyo. I think they get Mark Gahey, and I think they'll also look at maybe another midfielder.
yeah, I think we need another midfielder as well. Personally, I agree with you on that.
Yeah, we definitely need to spend because I think for me, a lot of our fans are acting like get prime Gahey is the next coming of Maldini.
Yeah,
Semenyo is the next coming of Ronaldo. And it's like, what we're doing here, like this manager should be able to get a tune at the current crop of players he's got now, rather than coming in to buy in January.
exactly. Yeah,
And I think also we might sell a couple of players as well. Endo, Chiesa, I think we might see a little mini fire sale.
yeah. Endo can't get a game at all, and Slot. He literally cannot get a game, so it might be best to just move him on.
Yeah, and God, I actually forgot about Endo. Like he's literally.
It's
I think he,
crazy, isn't it? Because under in Klopp's last season, he was really important to the team, and then Slot comes in and he just pushes him to the side.
yeah, he was massively important. He also got time there last season.
Mm,
You know, because he was that guy that would come on with 15 minutes to go, see out a game 1-0, see out a game 2-0, 2-1, or whatever. This season, yeah, he cannot. Listen, he could donate on a slot his wages and he won't be able to get the game.
yeah,
Like, it's actually peak out here. Do you know? So, I think with the club, it's a very weird predicament right now because I've seen a couple of fans being sucking back in. They're like, oh, I'm slot
yeah.
back in now. I'm like, how can you be slot back in? We've won. Okay, cool. We've won what? 3 out of 5 games. Okay, we'll give you Brighton and Inter because they're good teams. West Ham are literally shit. Sunderland we should have lost. So, like,
You know what I will say about the last 2 wins? They're good wins. The performances have been better, of course, I think, but I can't lie. I thought Inter were really, really poor against us. I expected a lot better from them, and I think Brighton were carving our defense open at times on Saturday with ease. They just don't have the finishers, do they? So I'm gonna lie. I think we have been lucky in both of these games.
what do you make of our fixtures coming up? So,
So
you got Tottenham, Wolves,
you
and
know what?
Leeds.
I think we'll beat Wolves at home. We should. I mean, if you can't beat Wolves at
Hey,
home,
Arsenal gave them a run for their money.
exactly. So we'll probably make that hard as well. Leeds at home, I think that'll be a hard one. Fulham away, we should be able to win that. Then you got Tottenham and Arsenal. I don't know how to feel about Tottenham because a couple of weeks ago I would have said we're shit, they're shit, but they're probably better. But now I'd say we're we're both kind of shit, but we're probably a little bit better off. So
Would you bite your hand off for if you could said, yeah, you get 10 points from the next 4?
it depends. Would I? Probably not. But I'll be honest. The only game we probably aren't going to win is Arsenal. I think we'll lose that one. Other than that, we should really be winning all those games because Tottenham are in dire disarray at the moment. Wolves are shit. Leeds aren't great. Fulham aren't great. We'll probably lose to Arsenal. I'll be honest, away from home at the Emirates, and then Burnley as well at home. We should win all these games really, bar Arsenal. I think.
I'll be honest. I'm looking at our next. So many games we got. We got 7 games. I think Liverpool should be aiming to win at least 5, 1 draw, and they might come away. I think Liverpool should be aiming, thinking, look, we might lose to Arsenal. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
But let's try and come out here with at least 5 wins and a draw.
Mm.
You might draw Fulham away as well. But the next 3, I demand to win. After that, Fulham, okay, draw. Arsenal will probably lose. You get back on track by beating Barnsley. You then beat Burnley. I don't know what our fixtures are like after going into January. Because then we've got the likes of Marseille.
So
You got you got a load more
yeah,
home games in a
that's
row.
a tough week there. Bournemouth, Newcastle, and City. Sunderland away as well.
God. Forest are back in form as well now.
Waste away. Yeah, that's a tough. Is that February? That's a tough February for us. I can't lie.
Yeah, February's looking a bit. Okay, we'll get away with a win in West Ham, but yeah, they're not ideal games, especially how crap we are.
100%.
So, do you think we beat Tottenham?
I think we'll draw that game. I'll be honest. I think there'll be a couple of goals in it, but I think that'll be the draw. I think out of all those games, I'll say draw against Tottenham, lose to Arsenal, but win the rest.
I reckon we. This is my prediction. We beat Tottenham. We beat Wolves. We beat Leeds. We draw to Fulham, lose to Arsenal, win the next 2.
Do you think he'll bin? Do you think he'll bin the FA Cup off like he did the Carabao Cup, or do you think he'll go?
If he wins the FA Cup, we're against Barney. You can't be binning off trophies. It's not like we're going on all fronts. We're competing for everything. You should be able to get top 4 and be able to compete for 2 trophies.
Exactly.
If you can't compete for 2 trophies and get me top 4, you're fucking gone, mate. Like, clause settings, it's time to go in that, yeah? So, they got N90 in the chat. Bless up to you, my bro. I'm looking at these next 7 games. Tottenham are bad, bro. Like, do you know that Wolves game is actually scaring me a little bit, though? I can't lie.
Yeah, I mean, they got battered
I
by.
don't think I could hack it losing to Wolves.
Yeah, they put in a good shift against Arsenal, can't they? If they do that to us, we're worse than Arsenal. So if they play the way they did against Arsenal against us, we could easily drop points there.
Yeah, this could actually be a lot more peak than I thought.
What have you made of us defensively? Do you think we've improved, or do you think we've just been lucky that Brighton haven't had their shooting boots on and Inter didn't trouble us really?
Well, if you're going based off the last 5, West Ham, like I mean, Jalbone had a decent chance, and Fulkrug had a decent chance. Other than that, we got away. Sunderland, oh god, if it wasn't for Chiesa, yeah. Then you had who was after Sunderland? Leeds. We were good against Leeds
I thought we were
until
good up until Canate gave the penalty away. Then we
yeah,
just capitulated.
we were in cruising control. I thought we would have made it 3 or 4, but then Canate obviously made the stupid mistake, and then everything just began to collapse. The house
Mm.
just collapsed beneath us. Inter, I thought Inter was a professional performance. I didn't really make too much of it. I just thought it was a good professional Liverpool performance. The attack was diabolical. I won't lie in terms of how disconnected it was compared to the structure of the team. And then obviously Brighton was a good performance, although they did have a couple of chances. That's the thing, though, bro. The thing is, right now we have. I think we all need to accept as fans, we're not going to be perfect defensively at any points this
No,
season.
100%. You're right there.
Yeah, we might get away with it against Burnley. You know, they're not going to lay a glove on us. I say that we might lose 1-0 now. Someone will clip it up. But for the rest of the season, we're always going to be shaky defensively.
100%.
That's why I think we have to keep persisting with the formation that we are playing.
Agreed.
Because it is working. What have you made of the diamond formation right now?
I like it, bro. I think it's made a difference. 100% it's made a difference. We should stick with it going forward. But knowing the manager, he'll probably chop and change it again soon and go back to what we were doing before. Interestingly, I think Hugo Ekitike was brilliant on Saturday, personally. I don't know about you, but I think it's pretty much now come to a point where he needs to be starting week in, week out as a striker, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think also Ekitike has to. Yeah, we'll definitely come on to Ekitike because I think it's definitely very interesting with Ekitike right now.
Yeah.
So to get your predictions, we beat Tottenham or lose.
I did say a draw, but if I had to pick win or lose, I'll edge us to win.
Prediction for Wolves: win, draw, loss.
We should win that. I'm gonna go with a win.
The fact that we're saying we should.
Yes, shows how bad the season's been. Like
We should be like, yeah, calm. That's just
last
keep
season, we
it
would have
quiet.
said we'd win all these.
Yeah, we actually go and win all these games, I reckon, if it's
Yeah.
based off last season. Because Tottenham, last season, we beat them. Did we beat them at the Lane last season?
We battered them. To be fair, we scored 6 at their ground.
Yeah,
And 5-1 at
6-3,
home,
wasn't it? It was 6-3.
and then 5-1 at home as well.
Yeah, Luis Diaz was absolutely chefing them.
Mm-hmm.
Wolves,
We should win that. Yeah.
although Wolves last season at Anfield was a bit shaky. Yeah, we should be able to beat Wolves. Leeds,
At
we
home,
play.
we should be able to beat Leeds, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking at Fulham. And that's the thing. That's the one where it just might just be the kick in the knees. It's just like the train breaks down again.
What I will say about Fulham though is I don't think they're all that. I mean, having said that though, we aren't all that either. I think we'll edge the winning against Fulham, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw, like you said.
That Fulham game is massive in my opinion because you've got to go into Arsenal with some points. If you go into Arsenal with a couple of losses, a couple of drop points, yeah, like someone says in the chat, Arsenal away will be.
Yeah,
We're either going to turn up to North London and put on a masterclass, or we're going to be leaving North London thinking, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, that could be a bit of a. I think that might be a bit of a down to earth game for us.
I'm worried for that game because
same.
if we drop points to Fulham, then drop points to Arsenal, you then going into. I know people say, "Oh, react, it's Barnsley," but then at the same breath, mate, you always have to think of it. The manager might do what he did last time and just throw away the cup and think, "I need points on the board." And then if you somehow lose in a disaster to Barnsley, you're then going into Burnley with an absolute do or die. Because at that point, then you've gone 3 games. Do you see how easy these fixtures could have very much turned back into a rut?
Yeah, exactly. 100%. 100%. I think the Arsenal game will also depend on where they are in the league. You know, if they're still in and around the title top, I think they'll beat us. But let's say City have gone top and they've kind of just fallen back. You know, they might just be one of those hit and miss games.
The thing is, we can turn up against Arsenal
Mm.
as long as we stifle. The thing is with the Arsenal game, we never get battered by Arsenal though.
No, we don't. Other than was it the Klopp's last season 2 years ago when we lost 3-1? Other than that, we
Yeah,
beat them then.
3-1. Yeah. Martinelli, Saka, and that. Other than that, we don't really get slapped by
No,
Arsenal.
yeah. I
You
mean,
know,
we beat them at Anfield usually, don't we? It's away from home. That recently we've struggled against them away from home recently. I mean, like when I say struggle, I mean like we've drawn there.
yeah,
Normally,
we have.
we used to win there all the time.
Yeah, our record away at Arsenal isn't fantastic.
Mm-mm.
But the thing is with that Arsenal match, they're in a bit. I wish we could have Arsenal next week
Mm.
instead of Tottenham because we're in a bit of form right now. Arsenal are not in a bit of form. Like, we look at the Premier League table. Arsenal, okay, they beat Wolves just last minute. Yeah, lost to Aston Villa. Brentford will give you drop points at Chelsea. Beat Tottenham the week before that. Drop points to Sunderland. So they're in terms of performances, they're in a bit of a they're not as fantastic. The goals aren't as the goals are drying up. Jokeres is struggling, etc. Timber, Gabriel, and everyone are becoming even more vital for them now. And Aston Villa, I'm just glad we haven't got Aston Villa right now.
Yeah, I mean they're on smoke at the moment.
Yeah, they're on absolute.
We beat them as well, which is mad to say.
Yeah, we beat them 1-2-0.
Mm.
How we beat them, I don't know. I genuinely don't know how we beat them. Um, you know, that. Yeah, Arsenal away will always be emotional in it. Jota.
Yeah, I think Wolves will be an emotional one as well because of the Diogo Jota thing. So that'll be
Yeah, I reckon we'll do something for Wolves.
yeah,
Maybe in terms of I don't know. Maybe I don't know whether a minute silence or something like that. Just out of respect.
100%.
If we can't beat Wolves, bro, right now, Wolves are going down. They're 14 points
They're
adrift.
screwed there.
It would be a miracle of a miracle for Wolves to stay up.
Yeah,
I genuinely could see a world where look, we're over 25% into the season. I think we're about halfway now ish, coming up to
yeah,
halfway.
halfway.
These Wolves genuinely might go a whole season without a win.
Literally, they might.
They might genuinely just have them 2 legendary points.
Yeah, I think they'll be relegated pretty early. To be fair. I
Yeah,
reckon.
they're going to be relegated, I think, in the next. It depends on the other teams. There's a chance they can be relegated in the next 10 games.
Yeah, literally,
But
100%. They've got no chance now.
But you're going to need Leeds and Forest to pick up the points to be able to relegate them.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that table's looking scary. I mean, Bournemouth have collapsed.
I mean, where are they? 15th. I mean, because where were they? They were like dead a couple of weeks ago, weren't they?
Yeah,
I didn't even realize that until I've seen it now. Wow.
Bournemouth. Yeah, they were the Premier League September champions,
Yeah, that's the Iriola hype's dying down there, I suppose now.
and you go on the manager things. That's a manager I won't take. I
Mm.
won't even take Glasner.
No, I'm not a fan of those two, to be fair.
Like, I just think they're mediocre. Like they'll come in, they'll do a little bit of maybe go on a little bit of a cup run, and then after that cup run, it all goes dead.
100%. 100%. If United win today, do they go back above us or do we stay above them? They do, don't they? Yeah.
I think Bournemouth might do something today.
Yeah.
Even if they get a draw, they go above us. So we need Bournemouth to win for Man United to stay above us, and obviously, touchline. Oh god,
Touch. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just.
Mm.
Yeah, thank God.
I mean, look, only one club lost 7-0 and it wasn't us, so you know the way there.
So what's that? Who does Wolves play? They got Brentford.
Brentford, oh, Brentford at home, yeah, or
Let's have a look. Don't think it really matters. They're at home.
yeah. To be fair, I think Wolves had a good performance against Arsenal, but prior to that, they've still been poor.
It's going to be FA Cup. They're going to have to do a Wigan.
Yeah, literally.
FA Cup or bust. Yeah, they ain't winning the FA Cup. They'll
Yeah.
get beat whoever they got. Like no chance. You know, if you look at Liverpool as a whole now, mate. For your asking for your predictions, do you think Liverpool make top 5?
I, uh, I think we'll make top 5. Yeah, I still think you know what's mad? I still think if we get it together, if we get our act together, we can still finish third in the table. I
You
still
can
think we can
finish
get.
third.
I still think we can. I can because I think Villa can fall off again. I don't know about Chelsea. I think they're really inconsistent, man.
Even
Palace,
Villa's form is going to make that gap even bigger.
yeah. So I think if we turn it on, we can get third. But will we turn it on? Probably not. I think we can get top 5. But then part of me feels another collapse is underway. I can't lie.
Another collapse.
Yeah, I can't lie. So
Man said another collapse. Oh no, that's actually
I'm feeling it, man. I can't even just So
don't man. I just want to relax.
yeah,
I actually just want to enjoy my team.
I hear you, man.
You
I hear
know,
you.
so if we don't, fifth can be correlation spot.
Yeah, I think if the English clubs do well in Europe, innit, they'll give the 5th spot as a UCL one as well. So
So I personally think if it comes down to top 4, I don't think we get it.
I don't think so either.
If you look at the Champions League, let's have a look. Let's have a look at the Champions League. That table. See what that's saying. For us, we're 9th.
So yeah,
Even that's looking fucking shit.
yeah, because we might go into the playoff game. I think so.
But if we're in the playoffs, I think we get knocked out.
Mm.
Do you look at these teams? Do you fancy our chances against remotely anyone?
So who do we have there? To be fair, on paper, you got Newcastle there, you got Chelsea, you got is that Barcelona in 15th?
Yeah,
I mean, wow, they are really low down. Look, what the hell? I did
like
not expect. I didn't think
they.
they'd.
I would even shit myself against Copenhagen.
Yeah, so
Even Quarabag FK.
all these teams would probably give us a game.
Galatasaray PTSD. Oh,
Yeah,
oh no, 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 not them. I can't be dealing with them again. Do you think we make top 8 with
uh,
Marseille and Quarabag? If we win those next two, 18 points will be enough.
it should be, but Marseille are good under the Derby. To be fair, so I think that'll be a tight, hard one. Karabag, we should win that one. So, do we get top 8? I think we'll beat Karabag, but I don't think we'll beat Marseille. Will that be enough? Even if we say we draw against Marseille and win against Karabag, would it be enough or would it not?
So that we're on 12 points. So you say we'll get 4 from 6 points.
Yeah.
That would take us to 16 points. If we look at the table from last season, I'm going to share my screen. Top 8, 16 points was enough. But our goal difference isn't as good.
Mm.
I think you're going to need 17 points. I don't know. I mean, we can have a look. So remember, Dortmund, Tottenham, Newcastle, Chelsea, Barca. They're the teams that we're going to be competing with. Yeah.
Mm.
Let's have a look at the fixtures. For each teams. Okay, so that's from. Why is it? Why is that? Yeah. We've got Marseille next. Bayern.
Up as well, apparently. So that's good.
Quarabag against Frankfurt. You know, Newcastle, PSV, if they can do something for us. Barca, they're going to beat Prague.
Yeah.
So they're going to be straight back in it. And then they've got Copenhagen. So Barca are going to be really hot favourites to qualify. Tottenham have got Frankfurt. Newcastle have PSG and PSV, which is not ideal. Chelsea, Napoli with last game. Look, Dortmund have got Inter, so that's going to be tough for them. And who else have Dortmund got? Well, I don't think do they not have another team? Oh, I don't know. But if we're looking at this, mate, we should be qualifying. And also, let's not forget, if we can, let's say Arsenal, they've got Inter next. So if we win, we can actually leapfrog a team.
Yeah, exactly. So there's opportunity there for us 100%.
There is opportunities, you know. Oh, don't, man, don't.
Greenwood.
No. Bring on Endo and do what you need to do. Yeah, if you know, you know. But I think 18 points. That'll be enough, man, because Arsenal are already qualified on 18. So 18 will be enough. But as long as we get 18. I think, do you know what? If we was to pick up a win and a draw, I think it might be fucking squeaky bum.
Yeah, agreed. So
It
I agree
might
with you.
go down to the goal difference. Say that again, mate.
Sorry.
No, what did you say, mate?
I said, if we get into the playoffs, I agree with you. I don't think we get through.
Unless we get, like, I don't know, Pavos or Quarabag or like a Monaco. But we get someone like a PSV again. Oh, no. PSV, Copenhagen, like, we should be okay. But there's just more mileage on the clock.
Yeah. Even Leverkusen as well beat City, didn't they? So
yeah, so you know, they are difficult games. These are
100%.
difficult games that right now, yeah, I do not. Yeah, for being truly honest, I want us to stay well clear. Stay safe, far clear from that. I mean, Qarabag and Marseille could be actually really tough when we think about it. Away,
yeah, 100%.
You get past Marseille, I think you go and beat Qarabag. You don't beat Marseille, you're shitting your pants.
Exactly.
You know, but then you also look at it. One of these teams have to drop out for us to get in. So let's say all these teams won their games, we're out. We're getting playoffs. Oh no, because Inter have what's it called? So we could overtake Inter. Hopefully Galatasaray could do something against Atleti.
Hopefully.
Like PSG got Sporting, so we probably want PSG to win. To be fair, so then it completely knocks Sporting out of the race. Chelsea got Pavos. Oh
Yeah,
god! Of course, they've got like a dead ass easy team. And then there's just us who's just got. I don't know. That's just. I guess we'll see, mate. But you know, one thing I wanted to get your thoughts on was, what's your thoughts on Hugo Ekitike right now?
Oh, he's been immense, hasn't he? He's been absolutely immense. I can't lie. He's put Isak to shame. Let's be honest. He's put Isak to shame. Considering Ekitike's come from the Bundesliga, a league where people will say he's going to come in, he's going to need time. He hasn't needed time. He's just hit the ground running. And Isak, who's Premier League proven, hasn't hit the ground running. So, like I said, I think it's at a point now where I would be starting Ekitike week in, week out as our main striker. I'd let Isak prove himself in training. But it's mad in a world where we bought Isak for a record fee, we bought Words for a record fee. Ekitike, who a lot of us weren't so on. To be fair, I think a lot of us. I don't know what your thoughts on it were, but a lot of people didn't really want him. But the fact that he's
Mhm.
coming and overperformed both of them, credit to the guy, man. I mean, he's absolutely immense. That stat is crazy, by the way. Wow.
Look, I think my personal thoughts on Alexander Isak right now is Alexander Isak is clearly struggling.
Mm.
I don't know what it is. What do you make of his body language?
You know what it is? I think Graham Potter confirmed that he had no fitness issues now. Prior to that, he wasn't really match fit, but I just, I don't know what it is. He just doesn't look fit to me still. I don't know if you feel the same, but he just doesn't look 100% there.
No, like, do you know in his body language? Do you think he's a bit miserable, a bit depressing?
He looks a bit miserable and depressing. Yeah, I can't lie, 100%. It's a weird one because he got his dream move, didn't he? So his
Yeah,
body language will
I
be.
thought he'd be a bit more. Look, I don't know what it's like behind the scenes. I'm not saying he's just like the quiet kid, but yeah, I don't know, man. I thought he'd be a bit more involved, if I'm being truly
100%.
honest. I don't think it's entirely his fault because Ekitike's had the chances. If Isak's had the chances, I guarantee you he's on 12 GA as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think look, he can't. It's definitely going to be a write-off season for him. But
Yeah,
we haven't brought Isak for 3 months. We've brought Alexander Isak for the next 6 years. He's the future of this club alongside with Hugo. So for me, I'm not concerned about the long term. I'm concerned about the short term.
mm.
So you're saying you start Hugo Ekitike above Isak?
I think until Isak starts to prove himself, yeah, I think Ekitike is earned the right to start now.
Would you not?
You could do the two up top, like you said. We could do both of them, but I'm not. I mean, what do you think of it? Would you play both of them together, try and play Isak into a bit of form?
Um, I don't know if the 4-4-2 really fits him.
That is another thing. To be fair, yeah.
I don't know if it entirely, suits him to the extent of, you know, everything because he's struggling so bad, man.
Yeah, he is. He is. It's
You know, what do you? Before I give you my opinion, who, what do you think the difference is right now between them? Why it's working for Hugo and why it isn't working for Isak?
I think with Hugo, he's kind of just I think he's just got the right mentality. He's just settled in well. There was a lot of talk. Remember with Hugo when we signed him, a lot of people weren't keen on him. A lot of people didn't really want him, and I think he's kind of just put that to a side and just went, "All right, you know what? You guys doubted me. I'm gonna get onto the pitch, do my thing, and prove you all wrong." And I think he's done that. I think with Isak, the money we spent for him, there's a lot of expectation on him, and of course he's Premier League proven as well, isn't he? So a lot of people are expecting him to come in and hit the ground running straight away, and because he hasn't done that, I think yeah, and the hate. Look, we've seen what type of hate that Wirtz is getting from rivals. Isak's also getting a lot of hate too. So I'd imagine look, I'd imagine he's angry with himself as well. He wants to obviously perform. He wants to be playing week in week out. But it's strange because he scored his first goal against West Ham, and I really thought that was going to be the goal that kicked him on the league. To continue
Yeah,
scoring, but that hasn't happened for some reason.
no. I think that the difference between them, for me, is Hugo Ekitike. He's got that bite and tenacity.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think that's something that Alex is clearly struggling with. And I think because Hugo Ekitike has got that mentality right now about him, that tenacity, that extra mileage. Alexander Isak, he's not obviously the chances. Like he's also struggled with the tempo. I think he's struggled with players not passing him the ball. Like if he's doing everything, getting into the good positions, getting into the dangerous areas, and he's not being received the ball, in those areas, I can't really complain and moan at him. It's not like because he's doing everything, but he's just not getting the ball. That's where it becomes about the system and everything else about it. Do you know? So for me, we need to start revolving this team around him. Fits what fits for him.
100%.
You know, and whether we ultimately do that is obviously a different thing. But I think so you're saying would you go Hugo just up top on his own, or would you continue to?
I thing is, we need to play Isak into form, don't we? We need to get him going. So I'd be prone to the two up top as well, personally. So, but then again, like you said, I don't know if that suits us. You know what I mean? If it suits Isak, so it's a hard one. It's a real hard one. I personally think Scott will keep rotating them. I think 1 week he'll start with Isak, 1 week he'll start with Ekitike. I think that's what he'll continue to do. So, yeah. Interestingly, though, do you think if a new manager came in, they'd feel pressure to play Isak week in, week out because he's an investment and how much he cost? Or do you think?
Oh, 100%, because he costs us
Yeah,
125 million.
yeah.
I think he has to be getting minutes. I don't think it's even down to fitness, because I think he has looked good in areas. I think he has actually looked quite sharp.
Mm,
He's just not had the ball a lot of times. I
that
think
is
a lot
true.
of times, his body language when he is just looking naturally lazy on the pitch, that's where I can complain at him and, criticize him as a player. But when he has actually been good in terms of, I think, other than actually receiving the ball, that's where it comes down to the team. I don't think Isak is regretting his move. Do you think Isak would do a Newcastle on us and put in a transfer request again and want to
I
leave?
doubt it. He proper worked hard to get the move to Liverpool, didn't he, in the summer? He did all sorts of stuff. Fell out with the Newcastle fans, fell out with their board as well. I think so. He worked hard. I doubt he'd want to leave now. So again, to be fair with Isak though, I don't think he's the only one. I think Kirkes as well has looked absolutely woeful. I think he's been absolutely pants. Frimpong's been injured for most of the season. Wirtz, I think, is only now starting to really, since the West Ham game, I think Wirtz has started to show his potential. But I think other than Hugo, I think most of our signings have been a bit sick.
I think Mamardashvili's been okay.
Mamadas, it's a weird one because some people say he was good, but other people say he wasn't great. I think he was personally decent, but
I thought he was okay.
yeah,
I do feel like he could have saved the Caicedo goal. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I know it was an absolute beauty of a goal, but I thought he could have potentially saved it, if I'm being remotely honest.
100%.
But at the same breath, like it's just a good goal, isn't it? But with Hugo and Alex, I think Isak. I just don't know. Like when I've seen him, have you seen that interview he did with Sky Sports?
Yeah, he with the Isak one, yeah.
What did you make of that?
Yeah, I didn't actually watch the whole thing, but I did see he said something like he's nowhere near where he needs to be at the moment and he wants to get up there. It looks like he's trying hard, but it's just not coming off for him at the moment. So
No, it's
hopefully,
just
hopefully in a couple of months, he's cooking and we're all sat here saying, oh, he just needed a bit of adjustment. So fingers crossed he does come good eventually, and I think he will, but at the moment, I can't lie, it's a little bit of a dark patch for him.
no, it's dark, bro. It's
Yeah.
more than dark, mate.
Yeah.
Like this is just, yeah, this is dark, dark,
It's just
dark
like
things.
it's just it feels like everything's gone wrong this season. Literally everything has gone wrong. There's none of the signings have worked really, apart from Ekitike. It's all gone wrong, hasn't it? Let's be honest.
I think with Ekitike though, he's also trying to get into that World Cup squad.
Yeah, he is.
Because if he wants a chance at that World Cup, obviously you look at the players that are going to be in the attack: Cherki, Dembele, Kylian Mbappe. He's not going to get a sniffing, but the form he's on, he's definitely going to play himself into Deschamps' thoughts and stuff. Yeah, Ekitike is one of the signings of the season. I agree. People
Yeah,
think Isak will be sold in the summer.
I doubt it. I doubt
You're
he'll be
not going
sold.
to sell him after. bringing him in for
I
125
doubt that.
million.
But
If
yeah,
he was there for 3 years and he was still performing like this, then yes.
it's
Listen, we gave Darwin Núñez 3 seasons,
3 seasons. Yeah, exactly. So
and we brought him in for what 70, 80 million. So
mm.
I think we're definitely going to give Isak time. I'm not
do, you,
too concerned.
do you think it's been too much change transfer wise in the summer? Do you think we've changed a bit too much, or
I don't think we changed too much. I think it was more the transition. I think it was more how we embedded the players as opposed to just buying them.
mm,
I don't have a problem with the players we brought. I have a problem with how we embedded them into the team,
agreed, 100%, hundred
as
percent.
opposed to just buying players, etc. Because no one would have predicted this.
Nah, I think most of us predicted us to go back to back. I think after the first 5 games, a lot of people said the league was pretty much done.
Yeah, I thought personally, yeah, we're winning this damn league. You might as well just give us number 21 now.
Yeah,
But obviously, I've said no football don't work like that. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting, bro. Look, I think one thing that goes in our favour now, lucky enough, we don't play in midweek this week. We're getting a whole fresh week,
yeah,
and hopefully we can get ourselves back into form. Because if not,
discussed.
it's gonna be. Think the period we are going into now will be crucial with Mo away. Slot said once Ekitike and Isak starting
You
together.
know, I'd love him to start Chiesa, but we know that's not going to happen. While Salah's away, just put Chiesa in there, but we know that's never going to happen, is it? So
hmm What do you make of Salah going to AFCON?
I'm hoping it will be good for him personally because we know he hasn't been great this season. But I'm hoping he goes to the AFCON, has a good tournament, comes back refreshed, and we all look at this as he was just going through a little bit of a rough patch. But fingers crossed, because I think against Brighton he looked good. I think he was very unselfish as well. Normally the old Salah would just take all of them chances on, but I think he was very unselfish. Got an assist, could have scored a goal, unlucky not to. I'm hoping it will be good for him and he'll come back better, but we'll have to wait and see, I suppose.
Yeah, hopefully. I would love Egypt to win it because I think if he comes back, we're gonna get a beast, Mohamed Salah.
100%. Do you
If he
um
can,
do you think what do you think about people saying that it was his last game against Brighton? Do you think that was blown out of proportion, or do you think he'll be back after AFCON?
I think he will return.
Yeah.
I'll be very surprised if he doesn't. I thought it would be his last game, but reading the body language at the game and stuff like that, the way he was going around the crowd, it wasn't an emotional goodbye. Plus, Slot said, "Will Mo Salah return after AFCON?" I'm pretty sure he said in an interview to somebody said yes. So Mo Salah, I think, will return. I think he might. That doesn't mean I don't think he'd be sold in January. It depends on when he comes back from AFCON. But hopefully, maybe in the summer, he'll go instead rather than, um, you know, as opposed to going in January. Um, Jude, my opinion, lad. Mo was going to go whether it was now or summer. I think he goes in the summer too to Saudi. We bring in a winger, possibly Elise.
Mm.
Thoughts?
I mean, I would take Alicia. Yeah. I mean, obviously, he's not a Mohamed Salah, but to be fair, we're not going to get another Mohamed Salah, are we? The numbers he put up for us over the years is irreplaceable. So whoever we bring in next is going to be a downgrade.
hmm I don't think we get Elise anyway.
I don't think we'll get him either. To be fair, yeah.
I think he was on a new contract.
What do you think of a new manager coming in? Salah going and then Chiesa being used as the main right winger, and then we bring in cover for Chiesa.
I don't think Chiesa will ever make it at Liverpool.
Nah. Mm.
I don't think he will ever make it at Liverpool, if I'm honest. I'll be very surprised if he does. We are getting Semenyo. I mean, I'm not really a fan of Semenyo,
Nah. I mean, I think he's a decent squad player, but is he good enough to start, really? For Liverpool, I don't
I
think so.
think he has good traits, which I think will help us. And look, for 60 million, I think, look, that's Liverpool's price range. I think they're
Yeah,
licking their lips. Look,
100%.
when there was talk about 100 million in the summer, I was thinking, oh God, no thanks. As soon as Mo signed a new deal, we were planning replacement moving on. 100%. I I agree. I agree, man. Chat, big up chat as always, man. What's what people saying? Yeah, Elise is shit because he's only playing well because it's the German league. He's been sick in the Champions League as well.
Yeah.
No, Elise is a baller, man. Let's not even do this. Let's not even. Let's not even do this. But you got anything else you wanna discuss, bro?
I
About the
did want to
car?
get your thoughts on one thing, Bo. Obviously, it's been talked about a lot. People are saying we shouldn't use it as an excuse, but do you think the Diogo Jota situation's played an impact this season on our performances and the season as a whole? Or
I think yes, it's definitely played some level of impact, of course, because it's like if I was to go to work and one of my friends passed away, I won't be the same for a while because
yeah,
it'll be on my mind. Um, I think they have struggled. I just don't like people putting it on that because I don't think it's really fair on the family
exactly.
of Diego, if I'm being truly honest.
Mm,
Now imagine just hearing talks about, yeah, the reason why Liverpool are doing so bad is because of what happened to Jota. One, it's not fair on Jota. Two, it's not fair on the family. And three, it's actually not really fair on the club. To be
exactly.
honest, I think it's been a mix of loads of things, mate. I couldn't really put it down to one specific thing. Um, I think again, a lot of people wasn't saying the Jota thing at the start of the season.
Yeah, that is
But
true as well.
when we won the first 5 games, everyone was thinking, yeah, we're going to win number 21 and go and try and win big ears. But ultimately, I think it's more than one issue. I don't think you could blame it on one man, if I'm honest. What about you?
I agree with you, Bo, 100%. I think it's a mixture of a lot of things. To be fair, I think that plays a part, but I don't think it's the main thing. And again, I think, like you said, I think it's unfair to use as an excuse. I think it's a bit disrespectful as well, personally. So
Mm-hmm. No, I hear you, man. I hear you. As a legendary manager of our said, let them lose their legs on someone else's pitch. Um, ours, yeah, everybody answered that. I think, yeah, Mo will sign. Mo will leave this summer, in my opinion. But, so before we wrap up, did you tell us your predictions? You think we beat Spurs?
I think I did
You
say a
draw.
draw, Bo, but
It's a draw.
you've convinced me to predict a win. So I'm going to go with a 2-1 win. Yeah.
2-1 win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going. You know what? I'm gonna go with a massive win against Spurs. I'm gonna go fuck it. 3-1.
Yeah. Fair enough, man.
3-1. I'm going with a massive win. 3-1. 3-1 Liverpool. Do you want to shout your channel out? That's all, bro. I've just put your channel in the.
Yeah. Big up, Bo. Appreciate that. Yeah, guys. So the Liverpool Prophet, obviously. I don't actually live stream at the moment. I do match reactions, match reviews, match what's the other one? Predicted lineup videos, etc. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do a bit of a mid-season review today later on, so that'll be dropping. So yeah, just stay tuned for that, everyone.
Yeah, live streams. Live streams. I like doing live streams.
Yeah,
We've got over like 20 people in the building, so
it's great.
make sure you, make sure you drop a like and subscribe for my boy, man. And yeah, we'll
Appreciate
definitely be doing more content more soon, man.
100%.
Yeah, I thought I'm gonna jump on today, speak about can't stop turning it around the Isak Ekitike situation. Um, yeah, bless up.
Big up,
Um,
big up.
we beat Tottenham 4-1. I think Ekitike 2 Canati with Charlison. Oh, not with Charlison.
You know what? It's weird, yeah, because I don't rate Richarlison, but he scored some bangers this season.
Yeah, he can never get goal of the month.
Mm.
It's actually quite funny that. It's actually quite funny that he can never seem to get goal of the month, but he'll score absolute bangers for days. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolute mad. But yeah, chat. Bless up everybody. Make sure you are subscribing to both channels. Make sure you're smashing the like button. I think I'm literally against one sub from 2,500. So if you haven't subscribed, please make sure you do. Content plan for me. We've got some more shows later on this week, and obviously when the football's back on the weekend, we'll be doing more Liverpool content. So, have you got anything specifically coming up, or is it just you still doing your videos like you said?
Yeah, so probably do a mid-season review, and when it gets to about Thursday, I'll probably start doing a preview for the Spurs game. I might actually do a watch long. Might just do my first watch long on Saturday, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, do a watch along.
Yeah,
And yeah, I put your link in the title, so if,
big on.
I know a lot of people watch my streams back. So yeah, chat. Make sure you're smashing a like, you're subscribing to both channels, and let's hope it's a good week for Liverpool when they face Tottenham
Fingers
in
crossed.
London. Will the manager continue to be here? I guess we'll only have to wait and find out. But yeah, take care, guys. Thank you so much for coming on, bro.
Yeah,
Much
big up, man.
appreciated.
Anytime.
And yeah, you're welcome on here anytime.
Appreciate it.
But yeah, bless up everybody. Take care, and we'll see you on the next one.